Hi everyone, welcome back to Drift Talk. Today we're here with the pro drifter Martin Wonnacott. How are you going, Martin? How are you doing?
Yeah, all right, mate. How are you? Yeah, pity I can't get on the server to drive with you, but we can do some talking anyway while you do drive, and you're better on there anyway.
Yeah, yeah. So unfortunately we can't get Martin on the simulator, but I can still do some awesome drifts for you guys while we're talking. So yeah, let's just start off. So what sort of stuff are you doing this year or this season that you know of so far, of course?
Well, yeah, that's a bit of a funny one at the moment, isn't it? We were much the same as you, to be honest, because we were going to be doing the Irish, sorry, well, we was going to try and get over to some of the Irish stuff, but we was also going to do the Iron Drift King, which I know you was going to do. We was really looking forward to that one.
Yeah, I
And
think that might still be
uh,
going ahead, the Iron Drift King, hopefully.
Yeah, it's still going ahead, but we won't be doing it. It doesn't work out now for us to be able to do it financially.
Oh, that's annoying.
That's the problem. Yeah, very annoying because we was really looking forward to that, but that's the way this year's going. So yeah, just hopefully can get back, maybe do some of the British Drift Championship and just some practice, I suppose. Really, I can't see us getting much competition in now for us anyway. But obviously, it'd be nice to get out and try and test the car after the few things we've been doing to it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the sort of same things happen to me because we're cramming everything into the back end of the year. So it's sort of like,
Yeah,
um, you know, all my some of the competitions are overlapping now, and it's like, ugh. But we've
yeah, that's
at
it.
least we've got a season, and we've got like at least some time on the track before next season.
Definitely, definite. Yeah, just drifters, isn't it? We'll get out there whenever we can get out there, Max, and
Yeah, I mean,
see
going
if we can
even
entertain.
further ahead. Do you know what you're doing like next year? You know what I mean?
No, we find it hard. It's not so easy for us to, with work, and it's always a financial thing, really. I mean, I just say I'll be doing the British Drift Championship. Obviously support them as much as we can.
Yeah.
We'd all love to do different things. People mention Drift Masters and things like that. It's all a dream, really. It's still so expensive to do these things, and with just building my engine, that sort of put us back a bit having to suddenly do that. So no, we just get out to what we can. We try and do some of the RDC as well, Retro Drift Championship, because we love them guys there, and that's where I sort of
Yeah,
got a lot better, to be honest.
yeah. I mean, I see you. Like, I remember that, like, one of the best times I've seen you at, like, your best of like being a good drifter was like when we were at Battle Royale, and I saw you went into that wall so hard, and then we came up the next day to do the actual Battle Royale, and you were there working on your car because you've been working for it through the night. So you must have like a really massive drive to do drifting, which I think is
Uh,
like super awesome.
yeah, yeah, I'm pretty keen on it. I, yeah, you do that sort of thing really. You're doing it more for the people around you, to be honest. I mean, I could have quite easily not drifted that day. The car wasn't fit for it really. We were all pretty tired. But you got people coming along to watch you. They support you all the time, so you feel you need to get out. So that's the sort of drive for me really. When I do that sort of thing, I could have quite happily not drove that day. But once you're out there, you're all right, and that's what it's all about really.
Yeah, I literally like I think that's so amazing that you do that because obviously like it's fun drifting yourself, but you especially put an amazing show on for the crowd, and you can proper throw it down. Like you only crashed at Buxton because you were pushing it, and you've always got to push it, and it's great that you always do.
Yeah, yeah, you do get the odd people say about how much you sort of hit a car around or something. You'll get some say it's because you can't drive. For me, I've learned more by pushing the car sort of slightly beyond its limits than not quite reaching the limits. Um, and I don't think they realise unless you're in a car, they don't realise the exhilaration of doing that. Do you know what I mean? Getting so massively close to walls, and occasionally you're going to come up against someone like Matt Carter, and that's where you're aiming for. And I put it up to him that day. It was a step too far, but the next time you hope you're going to get it. I suppose.
Yeah, so you chose to do a drift build on the Chaser. What's the engine? What's all the specs on that?
Well, what was original or what it's going to be from now on?
What it's going to be from now on, I guess.
Well, after we've retired, we decided to retire the 1JZ because it's been sort of kicking ass for 6 years now, I think it is. Still not dead, but when we checked it over, it's getting a little bit tired. So we're hoping to sort of retire that one to maybe a practice car or something like that because I've never really had a practice car and we'd like to try and get one so I'm not pushing my main car all the time. So we decided to build a 1.5 JZ
Yeah. Is that the
between me and.
2J bottom end and the 1J top, or?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the 2JZ GT bottom end and the 1JZ head is off my 1JZ now,
Yeah.
but it's had a load of work done on it because that was a great car originally. But it's had a lot of work done to the head. It'll be very similar to Matt Carter's, unfortunately, with his 1.5 JZ worked on. So I haven't got a clue what it's going to be power wise because I sort of let Greg go with that
Yeah.
from Pro Tuner, who always does all my engine work and mapping. He's kept the thing alive for so many years. Um, so yeah, it's sort of quite exciting, really, because again, I wasn't expecting to build a machine, so I wasn't looking to build something with certain amounts of power. I never used the full power on my 1JZ. So this thing's just going to have a bit more torque, I should imagine, but it is a lot bigger turbo. So, but Greg said I don't drive the car like I used to drive it, so he's happy for it to be a little bit laggier and me use the power that way. So it'll be quite exciting, really. It's got everything done on it like it should have.
Yeah.
Be much the same as my 1JZ, really, just a bit bigger.
And is there a reason that you chose a chaser, or do you just like it?
I chose. I used to have a PS13. I was one of the first ones really competing with a PS13 back in the day, and so I picked that because it was a different car. Then I sort of gradually come back into it. I went out for just a while. Then I come back into it, and I just don't like having something that everybody's got. So I picked the JZX90 at the time, which is like I had it for road as well. Then gradually come back into drifting. I'd already had three 90s by then, different ones. Um,
Yeah.
so it was just the obvious way to go. I wasn't really worried about whether it was ultra competitive at the time or anything like that, because I wasn't that sort of serious about the competition then. And then it just gradually moved on. And obviously the 90 got tired when we were started putting wet mods on things like like tailman six. So we sort of had to have a discussion. I did think about going S body, and I kept saying about it, and Karina wasn't very impressed with it. And I had to weigh up whether I did it just for the competition, which would have been obvious to go for your S15s and things like that, or
Yeah.
whether I was doing it because we love it and we love the car and we love the attention it gets and all that. And it ended up sort of, well, I'd prefer to come fifth, sixth, seventh, or whatever, and have a nice car. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's where we went with it. And I've just set about trying to make it competitive. Really.
Yeah. I mean, it's a super nice car, and it seems like it goes well. It's where you're driving mostly, but yeah, it seems like it looked like it had enough power. But I suppose it's all down to grip and power and the sort of ratio of those two. So what was your first actual like road car that you ever owned? Oh, might have lost him. Martin? Oh, I think his Wi-Fi might have dropped out, guys. Second week in a row. Let's just try this again. Try recall him. Oh dear.
Hello.
Oh, you there?
Hello.
Oh,
Yeah, just disappeared.
no problem. So I was saying, what was your first actual road car that you owned?
My first road car was an Escort Mark II.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah, it
Uh,
was a Gia. It was an Escort Mark II Gia. I went for different. I've always gone for something different, and it was a 1600 Gia. But an old chap I bought it off of, and he had put all the twin Webers on it and all sorts. So yeah, that was pretty cool when you look back.
yeah, was it? Well, I mean, was the insurance nice for that, or was that just like overkill?
Uh, Yeah, insurance was ridiculous back then. I used to pay more than you paid for the car, but
Oh
it
dear.
was I was so mad on cars and vehicles. I used to
Yeah.
just pay it.
Have
I
you
used to
have you
work hard
always
and pay
been
it.
have you always been completely mad on cars?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know why either, because my dad wasn't or anything, but I just yeah, just got sort of stuck on engines, bikes. We had it all, like, you know. So anything with an engine, and I'm happy.
Yeah. We've got a question coming in from Josh JD, saying how much weight's been taken out the chaser this year.
I put it up the other day. I can't remember. I think it was around another after adding weight back in, because we added a fair bit of weight back in for
Yeah.
doing things like the engine was heavier and all that.
How
But
he- how mu- how heavy are those surfboards?
oh, they don't weigh nothing. They're really light, but I don't think they'll be on it when I'm competing
Yeah, I
anyway.
was gonna say I'm pretty sure they must be a showpiece.
Yeah, yeah, they were for a bit of fun. But I think I've lost an extra 50 kilos or something like that, which is still a fair bit when you think about how much I lost before. But it's more where I've lost the weight this time as well. We
Yeah.
concentrated on getting the center of gravity right down, and it's massively gone through the floor. So although it looks like a big high car when it's parked up next to anybody, that's only a silhouette, and it is pretty planted now. It should be. It's going to be interesting to see what it's like. It's obviously all trial and error.
Yeah, I've heard that they actually look way heavier than they are, the chasers.
They do anyway. Yeah, they do tend to, but they've still got quite a big chassis to throw around, and the silhouette's quite big. So you obviously got to run a different line than a lot of people. That's one of the problems why you tap the back end a lot, to be honest, because you can't run the same line as someone in, say, your E30.
Yeah.
You know, when the judges are asking for a certain line, I've got to run it either slightly different or put up with hitting the back end a little bit more, which I do.
Yeah, definitely. You do definitely cut it close to the edge.
Yeah,
Sometimes a bit too close, but you know.
yeah, yeah. It's
Um,
all fun.
so how long have you actually been in drifting as a whole? How did you sort of get into it?
Well, when I was about 30, I suppose I got into it because I was just interested in Jap cars, and then I seen one of these drift schools went along and had a go at it. Seemed to be fairly all right at doing it from the off, and they sort of said, "Well, all you can do is go and practice," and I sort of loved it from there on. But I'd done it for a couple of years, and then I come out of it for a good few years, and now I've been back in it again for about six. Well, no, probably about 7 years now. So altogether, about 9 years, I suppose, drifting with a break in between. Like, you know.
Yeah. So what would
Just
you say? I know this is like probably a very hard question, but what would you say is your like proudest moment in drifting so far?
Uh, it's quite soon, actually. It's got to be last year, hasn't it? It's got to
Yeah.
be in amongst the last year, because before that, I never really done a lot, and then I suddenly set myself these targets, and just seemed to come out. It all seemed to come out last year with, and a little bit the year before, with getting the car comfortable and just changing my own sort of attitude towards the way I was driving and things I learned. And I would say it was, I mean, it's one of two really. It has to be either when I sort of went up against Aramis at Driftland last year and had my first win, or NEC, purely I come second against Alan Hines, purely because it sort of confirmed to me that the first win with Aramis wasn't sort of a one off, because I always say anyone can win a one off, like, do you know what I mean? And
Yeah, I
so
watched that battle at the NEC, and I was like, well, I wasn't at the NEC. I was watching it live. I was like, this is gonna be a mega battle, and it was.
yeah, that's right. I think it could have been anyone's, to be honest. Like, so
Yeah, same.
yeah,
But
yeah,
like
I was pleased.
last year, I mean, people in drifting must have just been like, "Where has this guy come from? He's amazing." Because I saw
All right.
you at drift nights, and there was like flames coming out front of your car, and it was like probably the first time I met you, and
Yeah,
it was like, okay, this guy's crazy, and he's got
yeah.
like a crazy car.
It's weird. It is. Yeah, I did. I had a lot of people saying it. I mean, obviously, ones that's known me for a long time, more so. They were just like, "Where are you driving like this?" Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, I couldn't answer them. That's the trouble. It's just like, I don't know. I'm just suddenly driving. It just shows anybody that if you get certain things in your head, get the confidence up, anyone can do it. So you've got all those drivers on the grid. and a few of them are going to be saying like, well, I'm never going to be able to get up there. Well, it just proves the point that I went from sort of zero to hero, so to speak, in no time, like, you know, with a lot of followers and people liking the driving. So it can be done if you get the right, you know, just get the right combination.
Yeah. Do you think, like, obviously, winning is also like a thing mentally with like not cracking under pressure and all this sort of stuff. And you definitely have one of the most positive attitudes I've seen in drifting. Do you think that definitely helps you sort of with the winning and doing well in competition?
Yeah, basically that. Yeah, because before when I couldn't qualify, I was one of those ones, you know, when they say you sort of won the practice. I was one of them. You used to
Yeah.
have people walking around the pits when I was in semi-pro or whatever you want to call it, um, and I used to be one of the ones that everybody would be commenting in practice that I was flying, hitting the clips and everything. And then it would get to the actual qualifying, and I was useless. You know, I would worry about. I'd have going through my head whether I was going to spin and things like that. And yet, I'm not one of the big spinners. I don't spin much from the time I get on track, and but I still used to worry about it. So when I stopped worrying about that for whatever reason, or just built up more confidence, yeah, all of a sudden all the worry goes away. Now I get on the line and there's more excitement than worry. So I've become dangerous for that reason. I don't care. I don't care, so to speak. Now, do you know what I mean? I just go off and go out to enjoy it, and I've done better because of it. So yeah, probably it is all down to confidence.
Yeah, I've definitely felt that before. Like only luckily, like I've not it's not taken over me that much. But like before, I've definitely thought all you have to do is not spin out. I think in my first competition year last year, I was at Norfolk. I was like, I'd pretty much got a battle, pretty much won, and on the last corner, I made a stupid dive and span out,
Yeah, yeah,
and it
yeah. Just
just shows like as soon as you start playing mind games with yourself, it's
yeah. I
like
think you just go
wow.
blank. Yeah, the worst person is yourself for putting pressure on yourself. No one else is. If you could,
Yeah.
most of us, if we just went out and drove our best drive, you know, like when you're in practice. I always say when you're in practice, you can't tell the difference between a semi-pro driver and a pro driver most of the time because you'll all be able to drive well. It's just when the massive difference is when someone tells you where you've got to drive and how you've got to drive, like at a certain time.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like to go on the negatives, but I said about your proudest drift moments. What's sort of the worst moment you've had in drifting?
I always find that one hard because I just take. I suppose the worst thing it's not competition, but I was at Birmingham Wheels on my 40th birthday, and they had it was a competition actually. Yeah, they did it. It was a competition there, and we went out and dare I say, some lad decided. I suppose he knew I was in BDC and decided to well almost try and race me around the track and. Didn't give me room to transition and basically threw me straight into the wall and I hit the wall head on,
Oh,
um, and proper smashed the car up, like, you know. Uh, that was probably one of the worst times because there was no real sense to it, if you know what I mean.
yeah.
I don't mind crashing with the best of them, as you know. Like if we were going around and it was a genuine, it's going to happen because you're on each other's doors. But we sort of all know what we're doing. But there was no real reason to this, so I suppose that was one of my worst ones. And being on it was on my 40th birthday, like, you know.
Yeah, it's definitely annoying when someone else damages your car. But it always happens the other way when you've damaged someone else's car. I don't know if it's happened to you, but I've definitely hit someone and just been like, sorry.
Yeah, you're never happy with hitting someone's car, not proper hitting it, but you can tell when it's an accident, if you know what I mean. Like,
Yeah,
you know, I mean, we sort of know how to go about it. This was done through not doing what you were supposed to do, even after you've been told. So, yeah, as long as you go by the rules, I don't think it matters. So, I mean, you're all out there, you're all taking a risk. You can't worry about your car getting damaged, but it's got to be
within
within
reason. Yeah.
yeah, within reason of no one's doing anything silly, like, you know.
Yeah. So, say budget was no object. How far are you wanting to take the drifting? Are you wanting to go like full drift masters and Formula Drift and all that?
I don't think about Formula Drift because it doesn't really appeal to me. But Drift Masters is definitely the one. I'd love to do it. There's no arguing the fact. You know, I sort of
hate Ollie Evans at the moment. Do you know what I mean? Because he's he's going to do it, like,
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, no, proper envious of any of them doing that, because it's what I would say is my sort of driving. I mean, I'd probably be out of my depth, but the way they drive is what I love. That's what I absolutely thrive over. So I'd love the chance to go around and do it, but it's just ridiculous money. So you
I
sort of
think I think you definitely
right.
stand a good chance in that.
I think I could hold my own against a good few of them. I mean, you've obviously got, when you start talking James Dean and Dwayne and all that, and Jack Shanahan, all at their peak. I mean, you're always going to struggle anyway. But then that's the whole idea, isn't it? But I would love to put it up to them, put it that way. I don't think I'd be a million miles behind now. I've got enough confidence to think that now.
I don't think you'd be any miles behind. Obviously seen you drive against Alan Hines, who keeps up with all them, and you've been against loads of really good drivers. So you've definitely got the skill.
Yeah, well,
Would
that's
you
it. I
would
mean,
you do you think it's a possibility?
what to do it?
Yeah.
What? No,
Oh.
um, not unless no, no, it's not. I mean, that's the trouble. That is what I've always said. I love the fact drifting's moving forward, and I want it to move forward, and I'd never slow it off. But I mean, I'm older than all you guys. It's for the likes of you and Luke Barker and all that. You're all that much younger, so you are more likely to take advantage of all the sponsorship things coming in and all that. I'm getting older. I'm just hanging on, really. Do you know what I mean? Just enjoying it as a hobby, and I'll just accept that. Obviously, if I won the lottery, you will see me go to Drift Masters.
Well, better get some scratching done then.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, you do have a really cool sponsor. It's Betty's Surf Shop, and they sell some really cool stuff. What other sponsors do you have?
Uh, yeah, we got Betty Surf. They're the biggest one. They're the reason I'm out. Going to be out this year. Is I wouldn't have, with building the engine, I'd have had a year out, but because they are backing us quite well, that's the only reason why I'm out. So yeah, they're the biggest one. Then I've got Exhaust Work. That was sort of one out of the blue. That come sort of, we were just searching around for sponsors. They happened to be looking for someone to back. Went on to my pages and all that, and we ended up putting a deal together with that. So they're sort of the reason I'm on race fuel this year, else I would have been on pump fuel again. So they're covering that side of it.
Yeah, that's always
Uh,
good.
yeah, and then I got Figs Engineering, who I've been with for a few years now, since the 90. They're awesome. They're not a massive firm in America, uh, but their gear is absolutely phenomenal. Where you've seen what it's put up with, I've not broken very much, and when I do, it sort of breaks right, if you know what I mean. It doesn't break
Yeah.
other things. It does what it does. They work with me quite well. We've altered a few of the bits and pieces as we've gone on over the years, because they're happy to listen. So Figs are, a massive part of my car now. They're just sending over some spare stuff now again this year, so I'll have, now they've sort of watched me drive more. They're
Yeah.
going to send spare stuff, so I've got it there ready. So that's good. So we've built up quite a good relationship. Extreme Clutch, they sort of come on board the very last part of last year, and we're going to be carrying on through with them because their clutch seems to be working really well.
Yeah.
Um, just trying to think who else we got. BIP they supplied my Enki wheels
Yeah.
the year before last, and topped them up this year after I broke a few.
Yeah.
Uh,
I saw that.
yeah, yeah. We destroyed. Well, we've only destroyed one totally. The other's been out, but Buxton was quite bad for that. And Exo Racing, they're quite a big part of us this year. They've sort of made the car a lot nicer with all their fancy bits that they sort of sell on their website and all that. They've jumped on quite big because they're quite close to us as well, so that's handy for both of us. So that's made the car really nice, just with your bits and pieces. And the heat management, obviously, that's one of the big things from Exo Racing, is all their heat wrap and turbo blanket. And
Yeah. a lot of
code
that
wrap.
stuff going in.
Yeah, it's massive on our car. So yeah, so we got them. Tri-Ace tires, obviously turn distribution,
Yeah,
supplying Tri-Ace tires.
I'm trying some Tri-Ace tyres this year, so that should be interesting.
Yeah, I did speak to your dad about it the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tri-Ace R1s we're on. I was on the 200s and the 160s last year. 160s in the wet, pretty phenomenal. I found them. It all depends on the car, really. I mean, the Westlakes were good as well, but we tried the R1s. They seem to suit my car for side bite and forward bite. I think they're even got a 100 out as well now, so that'll be in the wet totally, I'm imagining. And maybe if the power's right for my car, we might be able to use the 160 a little bit more to run away from people a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, you've definitely got the driver skill to obviously use up all your grip, which is super good because I know those people have like the big built cars, but I know that it's definitely you that's making that car fast.
Yeah, it seems to be moving pretty well. I think it was pretty much one of the fastest cars last year.
It's super fast.
It did seem to pull away from people fairly well. I've got to put some of that down to setup, I'm imagining, and the tyres, but hopefully I'm doing some of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So for you guys in the comments, Martin has was it JZX 100? Is that right?
Yeah, JZX 100 Chaser.
Yep. And it's got it's gonna have a 1.5 JZ, which is absolutely a monster of an engine.
Yeah. What?
And what sort of power did you say you were aiming for?
Oh, well, I'm not aiming for anything. I don't really know.
Just a
I
lot.
honestly, yeah, I'm imagining it will be because the turbo's like flipping three times the size. It's like bigger than James Dean's turbo he's got on his at the
Yeah,
minute.
that thing's gonna be mental.
Yeah, and with the nitrous as well. So
Wow. Yeah.
I honestly don't know. I'm imagining it's going to be like a Luke Barker type engine. Apart from this is 2JZ, this is 1.5, but that doesn't seem to affect it because my 1JZ was 700 brake. So I never ran that, but it was 700.
Yeah.
So I should imagine it'll be. I'm thinking it'll be over 800, but this is all just figures I'm splashing out. I'm just looking forward to see, really.
Yeah, I mean, power is definitely not everything. It's all about your grip setup, your steering setup, and how you drive the car.
Yeah, it's not at all because, like I said, I had bigger settings I could have went on to, and I always found for my car the sort of around 600 brake, the car was really lively, or that's the setup on my the way mine was mapped. The 600 brake horsepower was always the one that pushed you forward rather than just spun the wheels up. So
Yeah.
that's what. So you have got to find out you can overpower your car. Put it that way.
Yeah. So for Josh JD, I'd say social media is definitely very important for sponsorship deals. Would you say the same thing, Martin?
Yeah. Well, it is getting more and more that way, isn't it? The only way you're going to do it is by putting it out. I mean, that's how I've got some of mine lately. Is just, I mean, I'm not brilliant at media, but I make sure I'm on there all the time. I make sure I'm sort of polite. It's not, all bad stuff on there. I just try to put up some good, fun stuff.
Yeah.
Videos people seem to like. You don't have to be amazingly good at it. I mean, I'm not like you. I'm not on doing this sort of thing and all that, but I make sure I'm around all year. One of the biggest mistakes I think most make is as soon as the drifting stops, they stop. But
Yeah.
it doesn't actually stop, does it? It's all year round.
Drifting never stops, and I know
No,
lots of people
that's
talk
right.
about the off season, but there's
There
never
isn't
really
one,
an
is
off
there?
season. It's just
There
like
might,
they've
there
got a
might be
clump of competition, but there's always practice days on.
Exactly, yeah. Or you do in your car, but either way, the businesses that are prepared to back you, they have got to still be around all year, and that's where you got to start doing your work, basically.
Yeah. Let's have a look. I've got some questions written down here. What's your favourite track out of all the tracks you've driven?
Favorite track out of all the tracks I've driven is Buxton was the most exhilarating. I would say that's the one for sheer stupidness.
Yeah, stupid tracks have got to be Like,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
who doesn't love going fast and doing
yeah,
crazy stuff and getting crazy videos and all that sort of stuff?
yeah. But I suppose one of the other ones would have to be, oh, what's the one in Ireland that I went to on the docks?
Oh, what's it called?
God, flipping hell.
Drift on the docks. So I don't know what it's
Drift
called.
on the docks, yeah.
It
Drift
has
on the
a
docks, let's
name.
call it that. It has, I know.
The
But
Drift on the docks track.
yeah, yeah, that was really good just because of the backdrop and the atmosphere there, like, you know. I was so close to doing well there that weekend as well, so I always remember that. But that was sort of the start of me doing well last year, so it was pretty good.
Yeah. Okay, so we've actually been going for a full half an hour now. Thank you so much for coming
That's all
on.
right.
It's been
No, that's all right,
it's
mate.
been absolutely amazing. But yeah, to all you guys at home, thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed, hit that like button. Really helps me out. Uh, and yeah, we'll see you guys on Wednesday when I'm releasing a new video. Or maybe it's probably going to be Thursday actually because we're going out drifting, guys, in real life, which is going to be amazing for the first time in so long. And
So jealous.
and yeah, also guys, do stay tuned very soon because my new car is very close to being finished. So if you guys just hang on a bit, I'm super excited. And yeah, anyway, guys, thank you, Martin.
Cheers, mate. Thank you very much. See you out on track.
And thank you everyone else. Yeah, see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.